WNYT Albany in HD. Weekend Today begins right now.
Welcome back. Studies show hearing loss among kids and teens is on the rise. Here with more is Dr. Christine Raffo, an audiologist from Madison and Saratoga Hearing Centers. Good morning.
Good morning, Dan.
Well, you know, concerts tend to do that, right? Also, when you go to a concert, it's sort of, I mean, the music is so loud that you could have some problems hearing.
You do walk out usually with a temporary threshold shift, which is that buzzing you get in your ears and sort of muffled feeling. And a lot of times by the next morning you feel like that's gone away. But repeated exposure like that does actually chip away and cause some nerve damage that is permanent. And
that's why you're saying that the iPods and the things that you put in your ear, they're probably causing some of that damage.
Well, a recent study did show a 30% increase in hearing impairment in teenagers over the past 10 years. And that's very significant. That means 1 out of 5 teenagers has some type of hearing impairment now started. So,
are they tracing it to those
Well, that's
things?
they're now looking at what might be the cause for that, and one thing they are investigating are iPods because of the earbud. The feeling is that the earbud speaker placed right down in the ear canal does present a louder sound to people. And the other thought is that iPods, you have so much music on them that it isn't like the old Walkman where you took a break. You would change the disc, you would change the tape. With an iPod, you can go all day and never take a break. The music is just constant.
And you're saying that break is critical to sort of repair whatever it is that it's causing damage.
Yes, and the levels at which the sound is being presented.
But you're saying also trouble in school could be traced back to hearing loss?
Well, yes. I mean, that makes perfect sense when you think sitting in a classroom with all that distraction of other kids in the class and then trying to focus on the teacher speaking, hearing becomes really important for that. So, you know, if you have children who seem inattentive, they like to keep the TV louder than you think really seems comfortable. You know, these are going to be some signs that you probably should look into their hearing and just rule that out. Be sure that's not creating the problem.
Right. Dr. Raffo, what are some of the tips you have to avoid all of this? I mean, people are probably still going to be listening to music with their iPods and, you know, their phones and all those things. So what are some of the tips you have?
Yeah, so some of the things you can do, you can actually set on your iPod a limit to how loud the sound will come out as a safety factor. The other thing I did bring along to just show would be that you can actually get iPod earbuds that are only allowed to reach a certain level to keep the ears safe, which especially for smaller children who don't, I mean, look, everyone should have some sense of what's safe, but this is a way for a parent or someone to get involved and try to keep things at a proper level.
Oh, but these are teenagers, right? A lot of these teenagers love to listen to music very loudly. So maybe that might be the best solution. They're not going to set it at a point, you know, think about it. I mean, teenagers don't do that. So,
you know, I once saw a great T-shirt at a concert or something, and it said, if it's too loud, you're too old. And I just thought, oh, I don't know, but it made me laugh and it made me cringe.
But if you're already impaired, you know, so what are some of the other tips you have to sort of minimize other damage?
So I think the first thing you need to be sure about, if there is a hearing impairment, is it a correctable hearing impairment or is it a permanent hearing impairment? And the thing we're talking about with noise is a permanent hearing impairment. This is not something that you can take medicine or have surgery to correct. So the solution, if you reach that point, does become amplification. And, you know, some of the things out there now, you know, we're used to thinking about a hearing aid as being this really large, old style, but, you know, hearing aids nowadays are coming out in all kinds of colors. They're significantly smaller in size, so that does make them more appealing
and real quick, they use Bluetooth and you know, they use all sorts of ways, high tech.
You can actually now hook your hearing aid to a device that allows you to Bluetooth in your cell phone, computer, a teacher's microphone if you do need that kind of help in a classroom, so that there's a lot of connectivity. That is really kind of the buzz thing right now in amplification.
All right, Dr. Christine Raffo from Madison and Saratoga Hearing Centers, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity.
We appreciate it.